What's going on, everyone? Thanks for stopping by Frankie's Family Homestead, and today we're talking snowboard season. We don't just do homestead things. Our favorite sport in the winter is snowboarding, and it is something that when we had our first daughter, I couldn't wait for her to be old enough to get on the slopes with Dad and start shredding. Just note, we have a shorter video on our YouTube channel. It'll be under short videos that really will give a quick summary of this equipment. So if you don't want to watch a 9-10 minute video, we do have a shorter version of this. But if you did stumble upon this video is going to go into detail about the equipment, what's worked, any issues we had, to hopefully help you guys that are considering getting your kids involved in this sport. Hopefully it does help. Another note, I'm not being paid by Burton. I'm just a parent that wants to share this information to you guys, because when I was looking for this stuff for my kids, there really wasn't any information out there. There was a few quick videos of maybe the kids riding it, but not going into detail on this equipment. So hopefully this helps you guys with this. So we'll start with the biggest question, boots. Because the boots, and overall this equipment can be expensive. But the boots, because your feet grow so quickly when you're a kid, you want to make sure that you're buying the right boot size and not having to buy another boot size towards the end of the season. So Burton has solved that problem, which is really nice, and I don't know if other brands have done that, but essentially, for us in Ohio, we get about a 4-month snowboard season. It's obviously longer out west. So, but for us here, if our kid size, let's just say, for example, this is a 7C, they started the season with a 7C foot, and now towards February and March, now they're kind of at that 8C, and they're complaining about their foot being too tight in this. Burton has solved that by having a removable insert, and this insert basically makes this now an 8C. So you save some money on that. You don't have to worry about buying another boot just to get you through the season. This will make sure that you get through the season without having to buy additional stuff. So kudos to Burton for coming up with that and making it really parent friendly. This insert follows you through the mini Grom boots. This is an 11C, and it also came with that, and this will make it a 12C, which our daughter needed at the end of this snowboard season this year, of last year. So that's really nice to have. The boot itself is just 2 straps. The step-ons, I don't know if they're any different. I can't remember, but if you're going with the standard binding strap with boots with straps, just 2 straps that you can crank down around the ankle and around the foot, keeps them in place, keeps them from moving around, and these do keep their feet really warm. Our daughter never complained about her feet being cold, just her hands, because the gloves are really hard to find for toddlers and young kids, making them fit and keeping their hands warm. Mobility and how well the boot bends, for a toddler like a 7C like this, toddlers don't move that great to begin with. It's even harder when you put them in snow where the ground's not even. These have almost no give to them, and I'm pressing pretty hard on this. Toddlers don't weigh a lot, so when they're trying to walk around, these aren't even going to compress or bend on them. So these are going to act more like a ski shoe, a ski boot, rather than a snowboard boot for the smaller sizes. But once you get into the larger sizes, they do act like a traditional snowboard boot that we were used to, where they do bend and they can walk just fine in these boots. Let's talk about the board. The board itself, when you're choosing the right length, it's based on weight, not necessarily the height of your kid. As adults, we're used to buying our snowboard pretty much based on the height of what we are, and then you do factor in a little bit of weight and obviously shoe size and whatnot. But for a toddler and those that are going to be using the mini Grom board series, it's really based on the weight. But we wanted to make sure that we could try and get 3 years out of this board before we moved our daughter into now the Grom Kids series, which she'll be riding this season. So we started with 100 cm. I think they start at 50. I think they go as small as 50 or 60. They go pretty small, and I think they stop at 110 for the mini Grom boards. So we started with 100, and the first year when she was 2.5, the board was definitely too big, too long. But here in Ohio, we don't get the opportunity to go out as often. And maybe if you're out west and you are close to a mountain, you're constantly with either Epic Pass or whatever local pass you have, you can get out there a bunch of times. That might not be a smart thing, having a longer board. You might want to go with a shorter one. But for us, we're only able to get out 3-4 times a year. Having a long board and really I'm just holding her going down the hill to begin with. There's not a lot of her practicing balancing, carving, things of that nature. I'm just trying to get her to learn how to just stand and go down and go down the hill. And I felt like a longer board will help keep her upright rather than a short board where you just maybe wobble over and fall, or a greater chance of falling. But by the time she got into her second year and then her third year of last year, the length of the board was perfect. She's taller. She was approaching a 39, 40 inch height. That was perfect, and her weight obviously was going up, and that worked just fine for her. The board itself, and I'm going to not use the correct terms for it, but it is rounded on each side to prevent your kid from catching an edge. So if they're going down the hill and what they're going to constantly do is this, it's rounded upwards so that they don't catch and fall back or fall forward, which is really nice. Burton took that into consideration. And then they also have an add-on if you want, a retractable cord to help pull them around down at the bottom if you're going to the magic carpet, or if you're going to the bunny hill chairlift or whatnot. Especially if they're 2.5 or 3 years old. You know, here in Ohio we get such slop type of snow at the bottom, especially if it's wet. They'll be absolutely useless trying to walk through that. So it's just easier just to pull them through all that to get them over to the chairlift, and then you know, get them up on it. The retractable cord itself is okay. I had to rebuild it once because it would not actually retract back, and even so, like right now, it doesn't always. It's worth the money, but just know that you might have to rebuild it in the inside, the spring inside. It's okay, but it wasn't that expensive, but not the greatest quality. Especially if it gets like snow and water, and make sure you dry these out. So if you hang your board, you know, make sure that that water can get out. It's dripping out of here when you're done riding for that day. The board also allows for that retractable cord to be at the tail end, depending on how you want to set your bindings or how you want to set it. It has 2 holes cut out at the bottom and 2 holes at the top, and just use stainless steel screws. The board, or the bindings, I'm sorry, the mini Grom bindings, very, very nice. It's just one strap, very easy to get the strap on. Most of the time, Dad's doing the work, except for last year. I finally had my 4.5-year-old, she was helping strap her foot in. But it's just one strap, just regular crank style. If I can get it to go, there we go. It's got a nice grip handle to it, so their small hands will be able to grab it very easily and crank it, and then very easy pull. For us, one finger, obviously with them it'd be their whole hand. They just pull up, it comes right out. There's no support for their toes because they're not really doing any hard carving in this series, so there's no strap for the toes or for the front, but this strap right around the upper part of the foot, closer to the ankle heel area, is perfect for them here. No issues with it jamming up, cracking, breaking, anything like that. It's worked perfect every time that we've used it, so it's a nice piece of equipment. You can adjust it. The strap itself has some screws to it that you can adjust to make the strap larger or smaller to help fit that foot in that, or help fit that boot in that binding. And then the binding itself, you can adjust it if you want duck foot, goofy, regular, whatever they choose. We start with duck so that at least every way that they would be spinning around, they at least have one foot pointed towards down the hill, and then letting them decide if they want to be goofy or regular footed. Our daughter is goofy footed like Dad, so that kind of works out, but also teaches them to learn how to ride switch as well. Because at a young age, they don't entirely know how to do any of that yet. Cost, let's be honest, the sport's not cheap. If you're watching this, you understand this to begin with. Adult equipment is not cheap. It's going to run you hundreds of dollars to get out to your local mountain. That's not cheap either. Food, all that stuff. So if you are wondering, you already know the sport's not cheap. So let's work on this. How can we save some money buying kid equipment? Well, you can look online. There's sometimes it pops up on like eBay or Facebook if somebody's selling their kids mini Grom series, but it goes really quick. I don't know if local mountain shops, rental shops have mini Groms for toddlers. I don't know if they go that small. The other option is buying the stuff new. And we bought it new at our local shop, at a local snowboard shop, but we bought it out of season, which is when you could save the most money. These boots we're able to get 50% off by buying them out of season, which is still technically, if you're seeing this video in October, technically out of season. It's not quite yet. Next season or next month definitely is going to be where everything is going to be back to regular price, or at the end of the season, coming into April, May, June, that's when you start seeing all this stuff really going on sale to try and save some money. So all this we were able to save money on. We didn't have to buy full retail price. But you know, I know it's gonna be easy to go online to look to try and buy this stuff, but first check your local snowboard shop. Definitely support those guys because you know, we want to make sure we keep small business in your local city. So check out your local snowboard shop first before you go trying to buy online. The other perk is if you have a second kid. So our first daughter running all this stuff, and now our second daughter that's now going to be 2.5. She'll be able to use this stuff for this year, and then we were able to buy the Grom series for the kids stuff for our oldest now, and that stuff all be able to be handed down. So that's another thing. If you have a second kid, that's perfect. Or you could buy like a gender neutral style board. Obviously we have 2 girls, so we went with more of a girly style board. But you know, they do have like just a gender style neutral board, or maybe you don't care to begin with. But good luck. Hopefully this helps a little bit for you guys picking this stuff out. I will say their customer service in Burton is fantastic. They helped me along the way my first year because I had no idea what to do. Definitely give them, shoot them an email. Their response is usually a day or so, and they'll walk you through everything that you need, any questions you have. They are just as excited as you are to get your son or daughter involved in this sport. So just know that they're not just trying to just sell you on equipment. They will help you along the way because you can buy other brands. You know, this isn't the only brand that sells these mini Groms. It's just, I just went with Burton because I really like the inserts. I don't know if the other brands have it, but the insert for the boots was like the selling point for that. So their customer service is awesome, so kudos to them on that. If you do have any questions or comments for me on how it's worked or anything related to this, please shoot me a message. I definitely want to help you guys out. Again, there wasn't a lot of information available when I was starting out trying to figure this out for my daughter. And there's still not really that much to begin with right now, but they haven't changed how this stuff works. Like the bindings for the 25-26 season are still the same. They're just different color. The boots are still the same. They do offer the step-ins as well as another option. Those are more expensive, but if you're looking for just like your regular style strap and Velcro for the boot, those are still available. We appreciate you stopping by, and if you like this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks, guys.